Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of The Union, starring Halle Berry, Mark Wahlberg, J.K. Simmons, and Mike Colter. This movie is a spy comedy action film, mainly set in London. And the premises is that this organization called The Union has had a data breach, and now terrorists know who they are. So they're going to hire somebody from the outside to help them get their information back, and that person from the outside happens to be Mark Wahlberg. Now, the Union themselves happens to be a blue-collar organization. So the people they hire are truck drivers, construction workers, electricians, people like that, blue-collared workers. A lot of these workers have many strings to their bow. They're not just a construction worker. They can do various things as well, which is why they are working for the Union. Mark Wahlberg himself happens to be a construction worker with an athletic background, so he's physically very fit, as we've always seen him. The guy's got an amazing physique for somebody of his age. And being a construction worker, he knows various skills in that industry, and also as he works on buildings high up, on beams and stuff like that, he doesn't suffer from things like vertigo. He's got good agility and all of that, so he ticks several boxes, but still he has to learn the ways of being a spy, working for the Union, and he gets that in some training montages. When we get into the middle of this movie, he gets hired by Halle Berry, who happens to be his ex-girlfriend, who also works for the Union. And when they end up in London, that's when we get all the training. That's when he understands his mission and his roles and stuff like that. That's where we see J.K. Simmons as well. Now, I have to be honest, I found this film to be quite predictable and very run-of-the-mill. At the very beginning of this movie, certain things happen, and I thought to myself straight away, I know this guy's coming back. And I did say about spoilers, Mike Colter's character is the villain in this movie. And at the beginning of this film, they're doing an extraction of this particular person, and his team gets killed, with Mike Colter's character being killed off at the very end of that opening scene. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't think he's dead. And this reminded me of the first Mission Impossible movie with Jon Voight's character as well. If anything, this movie does have elements to it that reminds you of so many other films in this genre of spies, as well as maybe other movies too, and also even video games. There's times when I was watching this, I'm thinking to myself, this reminds me of Watch Dogs Legion, the Watch Dogs game that was based in London. And because of this film being predominantly based in London, I'm sure that video game had some influence in this movie. It felt like it, that's for sure. But as I said earlier, there's not much originality to this movie. Some of the things were quite predictable, but it is a fun ride. Luckily, a movie like this, which is a bit bog standard, has a tremendous cast that elevates it, and that's what makes this movie palatable, in my opinion. I think if there was a bunch of nobodies who with run-of-the-mill acting doing this film, I don't think we would be enjoying this movie as much. But because the actors are recognizable, the performances are very good, it makes this movie enjoyable. Characters like Mark Wahlberg being his Mark Wahlberg-ish best of what's going on, man, and all that sort of shit. He's doing it perfectly in this film as a bit of a fish out of water character who has to learn the ropes of being a spy. And Halle Berry herself being this femme fatale in sort of like an Angelina Jolie type of role. J.K. Simmons being this mentor, Mike Colter being an okay villain. He's alright as a villain in this film. And the action scenes are good. Some of them better than others, and some interesting moments. And because the film is also a bit of a comedy too, there are some good comical moments, whether it be with the action or some of the the sort of like set pieces, dramatic set pieces they have at certain stages of this film as well. So it's okay, it will definitely do the job of needing to watch something to burn a couple of hours, a good Friday night flick, with your mates or your partner. Put your feet up, watch it, have some popcorn, have a slice of pizza while you're watching it. It's all right, in that particular sense, but it's definitely not reinventing the wheel whatsoever. There are far better movies than this one out there, but not saying that this is terrible. It's just nothing new. So when it comes to rating it, I want to be kind and give it a rating for it being good disposable entertainment. and which is why I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. And that would probably be a very kind rating for some people who only look at it from a particular point of view of this being an unoriginal movie, and it is. It's very unoriginal, but it's fun. You know. Oh no! Don't poop on me! Don't poop on me! I saw your ass in the air. I'm not your toilet. Yeah, it's fun. You know, it's supposed to entertain you, and it does, even though it's not very original. And for that reason is why I gave it that 7 out of 10 mark. It could have been a lot worse, don't get me wrong. It could have been all of these things I mentioned and have terrible acting, terrible action scenes and all of these sort of things. But the moments in this movie which are supposed to, you know, really engage you, like the action scenes and having some good actors to give good performances, elevates this film more than it should need. It elevates this film in the way that it probably needs, you know, to be a little bit cut above, because it would just been just shit if it wasn't for those sort of things. So yeah, 7 out of 10 I think is a worthy score for it. If you need to pass some time, this is definitely the movie to do that. So let me know what you think. And by the way, regarding the ending of this movie, it does end in a way that if they want to do a Union 2, they could. I mean, I don't know if I want to see a Union 2, but I think they might try to franchise this thing, but who knows. We'll see what happens in the future. Regardless, let me know what you think of this film if you've already seen it. It's currently on Netflix as well, so go out there and watch it and just pass some time. It's good disposable entertainment, as I said. Anyway, let me know with a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are without doubt the greatest social media channel you never heard of. And if you've already forgotten, the name's NerdTube. Remember it.